Hey guys, this is your boy Markcoos Mafia, back in business, episode number 4. God, going through these quickly. Soon I'll be able to get like episode 12 and stuff like that, and be able to actually buy good players. So at the current moment, of course, no one gets bought in this episode at all. But in this episode, we have 2 matches again as usual. And my God, this first game against this guy who was playing as Flask Rawclaw, he had a relatively same team as me. Like, it was really weird. Like, he hadn't really added many people. He'd brought in Flamini at left for some reason, playing him at left back. But like, I was expecting him to play like, relatively decent football. This guy sort of just hacked me a lot. He was a lot. It's a lot like the actual in the second episode of my MLO series last year. There was a guy called, I think it was second or third or fourth, or it was in PES 2013. It was in the like beginning 10. There was an episode called The Butcher, and it consisted of a guy who just sort of hacked me a lot. And this guy, I'm not going to say he just hacked me a lot, but there were moments when he just hacked me for no reason. He just did it because he could. And as you can see here, he's not really going anywhere with the ball. He was just sort of running in circles and getting the ball like from one wing to the other. And I just sort of was like, I was a bit more composed, is probably the best way to describe it, because I just get past Coimbra. He doesn't really, I don't score here, which is ridiculous considering the ball's going for on goal, and he actually saves it in the final, what would the AI save it? The final minute, and I was a bit pissed off because I was like, well, I deserved a goal there. Then in the 26th minute here, Akberg gets played for on goal by Volum. Akberg takes a touch inside, passes it through to Minandinho, and Minandinho should score, but he doesn't. And most a lot of times, that's how, like, majority of times, a player should be scoring, but he doesn't really score. But I noticed that this guy, of course, had Lysenthal in goal, and that sort of means quite a lot. So if you haven't seen my last episode, Lysenthal is beast, then you will sort of know what I'm talking about. But in the 45th minute here, you should score if Hologu, and he doesn't. He hits it just wide. So at halftime, it's 1-0 to me. And like this guy, I'm not coming out like I'm not going to show off all the fouls and stuff. But I mean, if you look at that, he had 1 tackle, had 5 tackles, but it doesn't actually tell you how many fouls. Well, it does tell you how many fouls, so I just didn't see it. But yeah, so at halftime, it's 1-0. We're playing relatively decent here. We're not playing too badly. We could be playing worse. And in the 47th minute here, we get the ball off Akberg. And Akberg, I figured out, is basically your fastest player, for me anyway. He's like your best player. And I played it the perfect through ball. Not to Akberg, but to Markcoos making the run behind him. And I run in for a little bit. Pacini tries to stop me. Can't stop me. I try and get a cross in. And then from the corner kick, we actually score. Gillespie takes a nice corner in, hits it into the near post. The near post is so overpowered. And Volum actually pops into the back of the net. So basically, after figuring that out, it basically seems every corner kick you should be scoring. In the 67th minute, I should score here with Volum. I'm not sure why I chipped it, and I hit it wide. And I was really pissed off because I was like, my God, I really should have scored there. So 2-0 was the final score against a guy who had a relatively better rating than me. And as I was saying about fouls, I mean, he had 2 fouls, 0 offsides, like 6 shots. Like, basically, pass completion was pretty dreadful from me anyway. But when you actually look at his possession stat, like, it's unbelievably high because all he did was really pass it around the back. He didn't really go forward too much. But I mean, look at that. He had 396, now 315, 326 now, and he has 386. So slowly but surely, I'm getting up there to get to the next spot, which will be top player, won't it? Yeah, because regular top player, superstar. So yeah, so we're getting into that sort of better position, so I can get more players and whatnot. So difference in team strength, medium, really, Jesus Christ. Anyway. So you get going and like when it's been the next match, expecting more or less exactly the same sort of thing. Like, I'm not really faced someone so far where it's unlike last year where it was like, oh, you're just starting out and you face against a guy who has like Ronaldo on his team. Not faced that, not like seen that yet. So when I was this match thinking, well, there's a 4th consecutive win on the line here, and it's against a guy who had Benfica as his base team. So going up against a guy who has Benfica, probably Portuguese player, as that's probably expected. And if you look at my team, I mean, look at that, Hologu and Glasgow, like, all just like, I don't want to play today. So I was a bit like, well, this is going to be a bit more difficult than usual. It really wasn't. 9th minute of the match, Markcoos on the ball here, gets it to Miram. And Miram, I figured out, is actually a really good centre midfielder. Markcoos through on goal, Markcoos with a shot, and the keeper makes a relatively good save, really. And then Markcoos scores from that. Yeah, I mean, that's just what the hell. So yeah, he sort of messed about here. He had like that Hatabari guy in midfield, and it didn't really work for him really. I mean, he had El Magaha up front as well. And here, look at this for an absolutely fantastic finish from Minandinho. Oh, so jizz-worthy. But I mean, like, that was pretty fantastic. Nice little volley there after Van Barad open chipped pass. So looking at the stats, I mean, my pass completion absolutely dreadful. But I mean, like, when my pass completion is low, I'm a bit pissed off because I really should never have a low pass completion. But I basically figured out that the only time I have low pass completion is because of the fact that I'm always attacking and I always risk these risky passes, which usually don't come off. Hence why the pass completion is low. So with that, Mandinho scored another one in the second half. Pass completion more or less stayed the same. He didn't really do much with the ball. He only had 2 shots, 1 on target. I had 8 for 5, so it sort of says everything. I did a lot more intercepting, more tackling, whatnot like that. So Mag of Shire, man of match with 7.0 rating. Choji Hoon actually played with a 6.0 rating. Pretty decent, won 3-0. Like on more or less 2/3 of the way there to get into the next spot. Got about 60 odd, 40 odd, 30 odd points, and I can now side 10 players as usual. So yeah, yeah. So if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.